man.
Bro. And Lane is playing.
Oh my God.
Bro, Lane is playing like it's crazy how good he is. And they talk about, Williams being the best tackle in the NFL. He's the most physical, dominant guy. Yeah. He's physical, dominant guy I've seen since Larry Allen. That's how good he's been playing.
Yeah.
He's the most physical, dominating offensive lineman since Larry Allen. And that's saying a lot. Him and Eric Williams were the most dominant players I've ever seen play at the offensive line position.
Yeah, name me somebody who's playing a better right tackle than Lane Johnson right now.
There is no better right tackle.
I mean,
nobody.
But real quick before we get it back to the Eagles and their defense specifically, you got Doug Peterson coming in this weekend, and we might as well touch on it. Let's stay there for a minute because the Jaguars beat the Chargers and beat them down pretty good, man, 38-10. And defensively, right? And Trevor Lawrence is starting to find it. Like he's starting to figure out the NFL game a little bit here. And
imagine that getting coached and you get better.
It's amazing how that happens.
Premium concept, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Well, right. And I think this is a game that Barrett, before we, during the preseason, we're looking at it in the offseason. We're like, all right, Jacksonville week 4, there's an automatic win.
Yes.
I'm not telling you the Eagles lose, but what I'm telling you is this thing is not the layup that people made it out to be. This is going to be a very competitive football game.
Well, first off, we're going to deal with this. When he gets in, he's going to get standing ovation. They're going to pass by his statue going in to the spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
With the Philly. And he has a really good quarterback, man. Really good running back. ATN is doing okay.
And James Robinson's
the guy that totes it.
Yep.
Wide receivers, they got Marvin Jones. Remember him from Detroit?
Yeah.
He's daggone good. Christian Kirk.
Yep.
Killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Zay Jones from Vegas.
He's kind of invented himself there.
Exactly. He was already good.
Yeah.
They got rid of him when they brought in, Adams.
Yeah, Devontae.
So, I mean, it's not like these guys can play, man. And the offensive line they have, Brandon Sheriff.
Yeah,
he's good, man.
Yeah, they spent money to get that to make that line better. Yeah,
exactly. They got 2 second-rounders. Brandon Sheriff, who's a first-rounder, a third-rounder at center. He's a rookie.
Yep.
And a fourth-rounder in Ben Barch. I mean. So they got a squad, man.
And Tavon Walker's making plays. The guy they took first overall, he's making plays for them.
No, he is rushing the passer like you want him to. He does everything. He drops, he rushes the passer, he plays the run, sets the edge. I like him, man. I like him a lot. They got him playing like a hybrid guy, they're playing him like they play a hybrid type of pass rushing guy. If they're 3-4.
Yeah.
They're a 3-4 defense, but they're more times than not a 4 or 5 down when they play.
Okay.
So I like it, man. I like what they do, man. Up front, they mix it up a little bit. They need a little bit of work on the 2 defensive ends. They're okay. They're just okay, but Walker just makes up for everything else.
Yeah, and look, they're far from a complete product. They need a lot more work, but they were coming from ground zero, basically.
Exactly.
The way that works. So. Anyway, we'll dig more into the Jags as the week goes on, but I just wanted to point out Doug's doing a nice job turning that thing around, man, and he deserves
nice job.
He deserves love.
You know what? I ain't giving no love when he comes in, even though he'll get a standing ovation,
and then that's it.
But if he dies,
he dies. Yeah, game. I'm just saying, like the game starts, all that stuff goes out the window. Like before and after, you want to give him his flowers and everything else. Go nuts.
Right.
Game time's a different story. All right, Hassan Reddick. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but he finally gets on the board here as far as sacks go, and he got a sack and a half. He was in on a couple others too, where he was really close. I noticed yesterday. Was this, Barrett, one of those things where it was just a matter of time, or using him a little bit differently, or like how do you account for Hassan Reddick kind of starting to get off a little bit?
I think he just wanted to be I think it's more so he wanted to go out there and be an impact. He wanted to impact the game. He wanted to show you what he could do. So I think he was kind of feeling his way around the first 2 games. Well, the first game and a half. Feeling his around the first game. Second game, you notice halfway through the second quarter, The second half, he started playing better. He started making plays. He got into the stat column. You know what I mean? Had a tackle for loss, really started to turn the corner. This game's like, you know what? I just want to be better. I want to ball out. I'm just going to go out there and do it. And that's what he did. He went out and had a strip sack fumble, He rushed the passer more intensely. You know what I'm saying? He was out there with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he needed to do. He needed to rush with a purpose. He knew, people keep saying, oh, you got a game plan. No, you don't need to game plan him. You honestly don't. You don't need to game plan him. Just put him on the edge and let him go.
Right.
Now it's up to him to go out there and beat the guy that's in front of him.
Yeah, don't overthink it too much. Just get him back to what he does best.
Well, dude, they never hit him anywhere he went. They never hit him when he had all those sacks. They put him at the end of the line and had him rush. That's what they did. I was listening to people, even on my pregame show,
mm-hmm.
and Jaguars was like, we got to figure out a way to make sure that we get Hassan Reddick in the best possible position. The best possible position you can put Hassan Reddick in is rushing him off the edge. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Just rush him off the edge. Let him go from there. You can't hide him in an interior because he doesn't know how to rush from those positions. But he damn sure knows how to rush from off the edge. One-on-one against a tackle, he can beat him. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how good the tackle is, he can beat him.
And is that the way they utilized him yesterday for his sacks?
Yes. What I said the key match was going to be him and the right tackle Cosme. I don't know how many times I said it.
Mm-hmm.
The stream will tell you. I just said that was my thing on Friday.
Yeah.
Line him up against Cosme. Cosme is a young guy still trying to learn the NFL. Baptism by fire. Put him on that edge. Let him go.
Mm-hmm.
Flip-flop him. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
He'll do the rest.
Good. I mean, look, figure it out, get it done, and that's what they did yesterday. But what I love, too, is you got it from Brandon on the outside. You got it from Reddick, like you just laid out very well. You got it from Fletcher on the interior. You got it from Hargrave on the interior. And you got it also from Sweat on the outside. I mean,
Sweat is he's the best pass rusher, pure pass rusher on the outside that we have. The best, no question. Size, speed, strength.
Why don't we look? I know you can't get a sack every game, but why don't we see it a little bit more consistently out of him?
It's that want to. It's want to.
It's motor. Okay.
Yes, it's motor. They got to come in with the intent to go out there and dominate who's ever in front of them. You look at the guys that do that. The Watts. Mm-hmm. When I say Watts, I mean both of them. Mm-hmm. Once they get their mindset that I'm coming, they're coming. The Bosa brothers.
Yeah.
They just go. Mm-hmm. They're not hiding them. They're not putting them in anything special. Where they line them up, they line up on the outside, let them go.
They believe they're going to beat their men. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got to be the same way with Hassan Reddick. Yeah. I'm tired of hearing everybody, we got to game. No, you don't game plan this dude. That's when you mess him up. That's when you got him dropping and everything else.
Yeah.
No, just go. Go. Put your hand in the dirt and go. If you go from a 2-point stance, as soon as that ball go.
So
got to move.
How much for you, like how big is it that you don't – like last year, the defensive line couldn't get home. So everybody was screaming for Gannon to send extra pressure. You don't appear to have to send a ton of extra pressure with this group. Like they can win their battles by themselves.
You didn't against Washington, and you didn't have to against Minnesota.
Yeah.
You didn't have to, but there'll be games where you're going to have to. Like this game, they might have to. Because their offensive line is better than – they're right up on the lines. I would compare them a lot to Minnesota.
Okay.
Not quite as good as Detroit, but I'll put them in that Minnesota ranking. So just to qualify, people that we've seen, the last 3 weeks, they're more along the lines of Minnesota. Minnesota was okay.
Okay.
I tell you what, Detroit has a damn good offensive line. Whether they win or not, it's not, they're just not healthy enough.
Yeah.
But their 2 tackles in their center are top notch.
And that offense, Detroit's offense, not to get off too much here, but their offense is good and legit.
Absolutely.
I think. Yeah.
Absolutely. So so now they've tasted blood, that D-line is gonna go. They'll be okay now. You don't have to worry about them anymore. Mm-hmm. Once you get to taste the blood in your mouth, that's why I say when you go hunting, You go out there, you shoot your first deer. You got to at least take a bite of the deer's heart. They bit the deer's heart. They're ready to rock and roll now. They're ready to hunt now. They are ready to hunt.
Yeah.
You know, when you go fishing, you know what I'm saying? That Cap made me do it. First time I caught a tuna, I caught a 55-pound tuna. It was a 55 or 65-pound tuna. I had to bite the heart. I mean, it's nasty, but, you know, you got to do it. Once you taste blood, you got to go.
God, man. This segment got really graphic. Oh, my God. I'm not. Anybody else not hungry anymore? Whoa. All right. So for a second there, I'm like, oh, I kind of get some hunger pains. Not anymore. I'm good now.
And then it doesn't match Cheerios, huh?
No, that didn't. I don't know. We'll see how that sits. If you see me have to make a run for the border, you're going to know why now. So D-line certainly stood out to you. I got to give this guy love, Barrett, because I don't think he gets talked about enough. And that's good because it means you have a lot of the other players playing well. TJ Edwards is a freaking beast. Can we just talk about this for a minute?
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing, whether it's the run game. He got a sack yesterday. I'm glad to see that. But he passed defense the week before against the Vikings. No matter what you ask this guy to do, he does it well. And he's a heat-seeking missile.
Bro, sometimes you just got guys that just aren't gifted like myself, but just know how to get the job done.
Athletically gifted.
You put him, like he's not going to beat you in a 40. He runs like a 4.6 40.
Right.
But he knows where to go. He knows where he needs to be. Like when he done playing, he's going to be a coach. He's one of those type of guys. He'll be a coach because he understands what concepts this defense is trying to do. Mm-hmm. So he always puts his guys in a great position to be where they need to be. You know, just like Oklahoma's coach now. He was my linebacker when I played in
Venables.
Kansas State. Brent Venables was slow as pond water. But he always knew where to be at. And if he couldn't get there, he's going to tell somebody else to go get there for him. Mm-hmm. And that's how good he was. He was good at doing that. That's why he's a coach.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, you put him, TJ Edwards, in the middle, give him a game plan, tell him exactly what you need to be executed. He will execute it to a T. He reads things fast. He goes out. He makes sure he goes downhill. It wasn't until he started him week 8.
That's when it changed.
That's when the defense changed. You know why it changed? Because, man, I'm going to play linebacker the way I know how to play linebacker.
Yes.
So instead of sitting back, he was trying to play like Wilson. Wilson sat back and let everything happen.
Stunk.
And he'd be 5 yards off the ball before he react. And then they've already picked up 5 yards because he was like, you know what? I'm going to do it my way.
Yep. So
as soon as they put Edwards in there, he came downhill, was hitting the double team, knocking them off, making plays in the backfield. Everything was great from that point on because he knows how to play the linebacker position.
Yeah.
He's done this ever since then. When he was in Wisconsin, bruh.
He made us do it on every play.
Right. He was all Big Ten.
He was a combine casualty. He was a pro day casualty instead of just turning the film on and watching this guy. And now to the Eagles' benefit, it's good for the Eagles. I'm glad
just turn the film on. He's there. He's always there. His nose is always around the ball. And White, that might be the most downplayed
addition. Kaiser White.
Execution of how to get guys in that are good on 1-year deals. I mean, I got to put a feather Howie's hat for that. He got Kazir White here.
Well, Kazir's and also Barrett hungry because he's in a 1-year deal. He's on a make it kind of year.
And he's worth everything you give him too. Yes. He's worth it because he is ball. He can go out there, he can cover. That's your boy, Paul Jolly.
My guy. That's my guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Barrett, they're collectively as a group so good that we don't even talk about Nakobe Dean not ever getting on the field. Think about in normal years, all we would be hearing is cat calls for Nakobe Dean to play.
Absolutely.
And that's not even a thought in anybody's, mind.
Well, you look at it, man. I knew, I've always been hooting, honking his horn TJ Edwards' horn the entire time, since he started starting last year. Yeah. I started talking about him all this offseason. When we first started the show, I was telling you, hey, Edwards is this, Edwards is that. Mm-hmm. Then we got to camp. People started seeing what I was saying. Edwards is that dude. Edwards. And then the writers start saying, oh, look at this. Edwards is always I've been talking about Edwards. I've been talking about him. You know what I mean? Me and Seth used to go back and forth. Say, oh, he's too slow. I love him. Then he started playing. He's like, hey, this kid can play. And he turned the leaf. He became a believer. But I've been screaming this for the longest time. Put this kid in. Give him a chance. He came in a little bigger than he is now. He came in. He wasn't out of shape, but he wasn't his tone. He didn't have his NFL body. Now that he has his NFL body, he is ready to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? He cut some weight. Looked like he got more defined.
Yeah.
He can read things faster. He's going downhill, hitting things faster. He's reacting on that screen. I watched on the screenplay. They set that screenplay up perfectly. They had 3 big offensive linemen out there waiting. And I watched him and CJ, what's his name? CJ
Gardner-Johnson. Yep.
Make the play out there with 3 guys, it's 2 of them. But TJ Edwards undercuts the block, jumps over a blocking, and hits the back in the, for like a 2-yard loss. Those are the things that he sees. It develops in his mind. He goes and get it. So what I said, I'll say this.
Yeah.
I do like, he's a great draft pick. We got him in the 3rd round.
Absolutely.
Kobe Dean is a gold mine that we got in the 3rd round. But it's just not his time to play yet.
Yeah, let him learn. Give him a red shirt here. That's okay. Yeah.
See everything develop in front of him.
Yeah.
Let him go out there on special teams. Get used to the speed of the game. If we need him here and there, goal line situations, stuff like that. Give him some time to develop.
Absolutely.
But right now, there's no way that he outseats TJ Edwards. TJ Edwards was that good. If they bench TJ Edwards for the Kobe Dean right now, it'll be a travesty. And they're just doing it because he's a draft pick.
Yeah, that it ain't happening. I can tell you that right now.
That's not.
Look, and here's the good news, and I hope this isn't the case, but he's a good depth guy to have in case somebody goes down.
Absolutely.
We know how this works, right?
Absolutely.
We know how this league works. So absolutely. There's a look, and do I think everything's perfect? No, not everything's perfect. They weren't good on 3rd down yesterday, right? They didn't score. Barrett, it's been 5 quarters since they scored in the second half. Of course, not everything's perfect, but it's week 3.
Right, right.
3.
We're still learning.
Yes.
Everybody, we're talking about him going to the Super Bowl. No, it's not time to talk about Super Bowl. What it is time to talk about is them going out, taking one game at a time, one play at a time. And you hear what the players are saying. Listen to what they're saying in the press conference. Jalen Hurts, hey, we left a lot of meat on the bone. There's a lot of plays out there which we could have made. You go and look at the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, we were there. We're eating them up. But, man, I left about 3 sacks out there. We got to get better. We got to get better. There's so much that that we're not doing right. We got to get it right. You ask running back, man, we should have ran the ball more consistently. It's our fault we didn't run the ball enough. Those are all things that are positive, that are really negative, but they're positive that they see that and they know they got to work on it. So they're going to go work on it. They're going to cross that T. They're going to dot that. Every time they did not had something that they weren't good at, they went out and worked on it and executed next week. The first game, they couldn't tackle a soul, but they're making all the tackles now. So this is just things, they're just working on and getting better at. They're getting better at it.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you, man. And the thing is, if you look at, just jump around the league a little bit, do yourself a favor and just look around the league at some of what we consider the really premier kind of teams. And look at some of the struggles they're having. Some of it's due to injury, like the Bucs. Some of it's just lack of execution. Teams like the Raiders, who had high hopes, that are 0-3. The Chiefs lose yesterday to the Colts. There's a lot of this stuff. Buffalo loses on a late play where they didn't execute, well. You could go around the league to almost every single team and say, well, right now they're not doing this well. They're not doing that well. Whatever. It's not like the Eagles are alone in this. So I would just caution people just to take a big picture look sometimes when they're really nitpicking, little things. I'm not, again, when you play good teams, you got to be more complete than what we've seen.
Yep.
From the Eagles. There's things you got to get better at, but
there's
a hell of a lot more good than bad.
Rob, if we were doing everything perfect, it'd be all for naught because you're still not in the Super Bowl. You want to keep working at things, getting better. Cross your T's, dot your I's, getting all the way till the end, and you play your best football on Super Bowl Sunday.
Right.
That's when you play your best football.
Absolutely.
We're trying to work towards getting that way. We're working towards getting that way. And now that we have believers out there, now that we have teams that are taking notice of the Eagles, we're not sneaking up on anybody now. We got to come with, so as we go, the competition gets better. We got to get better. We can't stay stagnant. We just got to keep getting better as we go along.
Absolutely.
And that's the attitude I think that they're taking. That's why you hear them. That's what we don't want to hear all the rat poison. Right. We don't want to hear, how great we are. We just know we need to work on to get better than what we are right now. And
Barrett, I got to tell you, I love the fun that they're having. Like, yes. I know winning breeds fun. I understand that, but the bat cape, like AJ Brown went on Amazon and spent $10, but it's a funny thing. And they're all different. Like one is slim Batman or skinny Batman, whatever. That's what Devontae is. And AJ is swole Batman. And what is Quez? Fast Batman? I don't know. Whatever.
And just like Mask. Dog Mask.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like they were having fun playing.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man. I had more fun the year I won the 2 years, my last 2 years. I had more fun my last 2 years than any other time. Even when I was starting, I had more fun the last 2 years of my career. Number one, because we were winning. Number two, we were just so complete that we fought every single play, and it was good just experiencing, experiencing how step on the field and knowing that you're better than another team and going out there and executing it and putting it on people. Because you can see it in their eyes. You can see it in their eyes when people start seeing how good you are. You can see it in their eyes. Oh, can we compete with them? And the first snap, you got to tell them no. And that's exactly what's happening. As soon as the ball is snapped from the first snap on, they're jumping on teams. Bam. And that's when things start getting better for them, because it becomes infectious. It becomes infectious. Same thing, make you laugh, make you cry, though. Because if you start losing, it becomes infectious also.
That's a good point.
No fight, man.
Well, I just think too, like when you can take a team's heart the way that they have the last 2 weeks, obviously Detroit, it was much more of a back and forth kind of game, but the last 2 weeks is something. It really is. And you know what's funny too? Like you can hear veterans using some of the cliches that Jalen Hurts uses now after games.
Yes.
And you're like, wait, Brandon Graham's saying this? He's 10 years older than him. That shows you the kind of leadership effect that Hurts is starting to have on everybody across the board.
The respect that he has. But Rob, man, come on, man. I mean, it's infectious, man. He says those type of things. Number one, he was raised by a coach.
You know that. I mean, you could tell every step of the way that his old man was a coach.
Exactly. Yep. So his life is been organized in that type of way.
Yeah.
So that's all he knows. That's all you're going to get from Jalen. I mean, Jalen, you don't hear about Jalen going out partying. I mean, every once in a while, I know he goes out a little bit. But more times not, Jalen's probably in the house watching film, getting better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not putting a homework clause in Jalen's contract.
Right. Exactly.
I guarantee you that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, he just gets it. And I know sometimes people view Nick as being kind of like a pandering sort of high school guy and all that. But I thought it was kind of cool. He wore Mike Quick's jersey, before and after the game yesterday. Like,
and you heard what he said, why he said it, right?
Because he was a receiver growing up, right? And he loved Mike. Is that what I think that
he
was
said that, but he said, and every time he went in and played Washington, he'd be killing them.
Oh, Quick did, yeah.
Yeah, Quick would kill him. And it wasn't like he was going against, quality guys. He was going against guys like Darryl Green.
No,
he was killing Darryl Green.
That's right. He did bring all that up. Yeah, you're right about that.
So I'm like, that. I love the pandering. Keep pandering.
I'm with you.
Keep it up. Keep it up, man.
Last thing, Shane Steichen deserves some credit here. He is the play caller.
Yes.
Yeah. And, whether it's the game plan or in game, keeping the other team off balance, countering whatever they're doing, man, this guy's he's in a real good groove right now. And look, Jalen's playing out of his mind, but the play caller is doing a nice job of keeping Jalen in good,
exactly. Keeping him in rhythm. Keeping him in rhythm, and that's what it is. But, like it or not, man, he's keeping his nose down. He's keeping his head down. He's hitting the pavement. He's running. He's doing everything he can. He's training constantly. He's doing everything possible to be the best version of Jalen he could be.
Mm-hmm.
The best he could be. And it's working because everybody else is becoming the best version they can be. He distributes the ball, not just to one person, but to everybody. If you're open, he's going to get the ball. Calcaterra comes in, hasn't pissed a drop all year. comes in, he hits him on a little crossing pattern. You know what I mean? 40-something yards, you know.
Yeah.
And he's just like a rookie. Didn't he act just like a rookie, man?
Oh, yes. He acted like a dude who caught his first ball.
Right, exactly.
We didn't know he was going to be even active.
Exactly. And then it was, you know, I mean, hopefully, you know, Goddard's shins are okay. But
well, I think his ankle got stepped on. I think that's what they I mean, that's the other thing. It didn't seem like anything was all that serious. Like Slade hopped out for a minute. Dickerson went into it with a foot issue. He seemed, I don't know. Hopefully that's not anything. You worry about him because he had a lot of injuries in college. But anyway, it doesn't seem, at least as of right now, you see some of the other stuff that's going on. We talked about Slater from the Chargers. Like, they're real injuries, man.
Bro, and Lane is playing.
Oh, my God.
Bro, Lane is playing like it's crazy how good he is. And they talk about, you know, Williams being the best tackle in the NFL. He's the most physical, dominant guy.
Night.
He's physical, dominant guy I've seen since Larry Allen. That's how good he's been playing.
Yeah.
He's the most physical, dominating offensive lineman since Larry Allen. And that's saying a lot. Him and Eric Williams were the most dominant players I've ever seen play at the offensive line position.
Yeah, name me somebody who's playing a better right tackle than Lane Johnson right now.
There is no better right tackle.
I mean,
nobody.
It's all there too, Barrett.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's stronger now. The ankle's good, knock on wood. And he's always had that crazy athleticism. Plus, he plays angry. He plays pissed off.
Bro, you can see it. You can see it. You can see it. He is not laying down for anything. Bro, I can talk about that all day.
Yeah, he's I think he's a guy, Lane, who knows I don't have forever left, but I'm still damn good. And that's a nice place to be in your career. And I think he likes the guys that he's with that are surrounding him. You know, I think he feels good about that. And look, he knows he doesn't have a forever to go with Kelsey here. The other thing is back to Jalen. I know I'm jumping around, but whatever. It was a fun game to watch. when you believe in yourself and your team believes in you, good things happen. Like, those dudes believe in him.
Oh, no question.
And I truly believe that, whether it's as the older offensive lineman like Kelsey and Lane or whatever, or, you know, his receiver. I know A.J. Brown, obviously, with their relationship, but you can just see these guys trust in him. And that's so big. And you look at the other side. I don't want to keep bringing this back to Wentz, but I will for a second. As much as they said all the right things in the preseason, you can't tell me those guys aren't now looking at him like, oh, no, man, do we have that guy? I don't think we have that guy.
Right.
You know, honest to God, man. Like, I truly believe that. Like, there's something to be said for that kind of belief and that faith system that they have right now.
Yep.
And they're
ready, man.
They're firing at a high level, and it's going to be fun this week with Peterson. That's for sure. All right, we keep it going. We keep the Eagles talk going. We keep the NFL talk going. What a week 3 it was in the NFL, with some crazy endings, some crazy upsets, a lot of weird games for sure. I think the bookmakers had a good week in Las Vegas, but we'll hit all that. We'll tell you about some of the changes to the Pro Bowl, how that's going to look different, which is I like it. Rihanna halftime.
I do also. Yep.
Yeah, we'll dive into that as well. A lot to get to as we keep it going. Don't go anywhere. Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We'll have Derek in a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Let's talk about Flynn Tree Services, because Flynn Tree Services is an experienced, licensed, and insured Pennsylvania tree services company that will trim or remove any unwanted trees off of your property. They offer cost-effective solutions to any tree problem that you may have. So if you have any types of issues with your trees, they're just a quick phone call away. They are experts, by the way, at trimming all types of trees, and they service southeastern PA, South Jersey, and northern Delaware. Flynn Tree Services specializes in tree removal, stump grinding, as well as tree pruning. Keep in mind, we're in hurricane season right now. Now is an excellent time, before we get hit with something, that you get your trees evaluated. They do that as well. Go to their Facebook or Instagram page for more sampling of their work or some more information. Give Flynn Tree Services a call at 610-850-2848, 610-850-2848, or online at flynntreeservices.com. That's flynntreeservices.com.